You know, because I had a normal kid. I mean, let's face it, I had a kid that played baseball and he went hiking with his dad in Big Bend.
Sam Gladen is the boy next door, smart, cute, and into sports.
I am involved in scouting and sailing.
But his active life came to a mysterious stop.
He did everything every other kid did, and one day he couldn't walk.
Tonight, meet Sam.
I am the oldest of 3 brothers.
His family,
I believe in miracles.
his doctor,
I just want to thank the Gladen family.
I love you.
The hospital, and my family.
and go into the operating room
Okay, keep his heads real still.
for a delicate surgery with no guarantee of success.
It's nerve-wracking. It's scary.
I can't imagine what he has to be going through.
This is an NBC5 special, Sam's story, one child's miracle. And now, Deborah Ferguson.
Good evening from Cook Children's Medical Center in Fort Worth. Within these hospital walls, courage lives. It's in the medical staff that cares for sick children. It's in the families that await outcomes. And it's in the children who fight to get better and live. That courage is in Sam Gladen, and this is his journey.
He's always been an all or nothing kid.
You know, he played soccer, he played baseball, sailing, scouts.
And as a mom, I should have been the one person that believed that something was really happening.
Debbie Gladen lives in Lake Dallas, married to Kent, mom to 3 boys, Sam, the one she describes as all or nothing, Miles, and CT. And Debbie works outside the home too. All that is challenging enough. But in January 2007, Debbie found herself torn between 2 of her greatest loves, her mom and her oldest son.
I was spending a lot of time at the hospital and at my parents' house because my mom had been diagnosed with bile duct cancer.
Sam's video diary reveals he had a problem too.
I started to walk pigeon-toed in January of 2007. By February of 2007, I had a noticeable limp.
I go, why are you limping? He goes, I don't know, I just am.
I couldn't control it.
I was so wrapped up in what was happening with my mom that I just I didn't have time, you know? It's not that I didn't have time for my child, I didn't know how to do both.
Debbie's divided loyalties would soon end. 3 months after Sharon Perna, the family matriarch, learned she had cancer, the fight ended.
And I believe she was looking at my dad, but she was looking at all those people in heaven that were waiting for her. And, you know, she's like, what do I do? Do I stay here or do I go there? And she went.
I literally stopped walking the day they buried her.
And he was so close to her.
She meant everything to me.
And I think she went up there to heaven and she told God, she's like, okay, I'm here. There's something going on with my grandson and you're going to fix him.
Before dying, she made Debbie promise that too, a final plea to help Sam.
And that if she ignored it, it will turn into the biggest mistake of her life. And it almost did. Almost did.
Debbie's mom was the family's rock, strong and steady, so her grief was great. After the tears flowed, Debbie remembered the promise she made to her dying mom: fix Sam.
And by March 29th of 2007, I couldn't walk.
From mid-May of 2007, I think that's when we started fighting.
And they finally showed me that it wasn't all in my head. There was something going on with me, and we would fix it together.
The Gladens saw doctor after doctor and heard one diagnosis after another.
First was plantar fasciitis.
They thought it was something in his knee. We were looking into acupuncture. The orthopedics said, no, I think it's a growth plate. His exam was inconclusive.
How frustrating was this? That, you know, people weren't taking me seriously.
I no longer have eyebrows. I was pulling them out because that was the only thing I could really figure out to take care of my anger. Just go, yeah.
But just when things seemed beyond explanation, a spot on an x-ray.
That was a victorious day for him
Because
because they saw something.
I got hope again. I got hope again.
We think this is dystonia. We've only seen one case of it.
That there's something in my bloodline that tells my brain that when my foot is normal, it's actually causing pain. So that in order to escape the pain, it has to distort itself in that way.
It was almost at a 90-degree angle. It was spasmed and turned in and cupped in.
And to anybody that's just watching this to watch this and it doesn't know what it's like to have your childhood ripped away, it hurts.
We saw a future of, he was going to lose the use of his left leg, and then he was slowly going to lose the use of his entire body.
At that point, Sam, what did you think about your future?
Pretty much. I thought, great, I'm never gonna walk again.
Dystonia is a movement disorder. In simple terms, it means the muscle tone is abnormal, and that message comes from deep within the brain. It took 6 doctors and several months to determine that Sam had dystonia. But then what? Sam's 7th doctor finally brought hope.
And Sam and I immediately had a connection with him. At that point, Sam didn't like doctors.
He's a cool dude.
Why do you say that?
He gets me.
After several doctors, diagnoses, and referrals to Houston and Oklahoma City, the Gladens' search for answers took them from their home in Lake Dallas, just an hour away, to Fort Worth. Cook Children's Medical Center had recently hired pediatric neurologist Fernando Acosta Jr.
When I went to medical school, I was going to be a pediatrician, and that's kind of the bottom line. I love kids, and I was going to be a pediatrician.
Acosta arrived at Cook Children's in October 2006, fresh out of medical school. His specialty, recognizing and treating movement disorders. It put him on a path toward the Gladens.
So I just happened to be in the right place at the right time and got to meet Sam.
Sam described that meeting in his video diary.
And he immediately said, without even being there for 15 minutes, you have type 1 dystonia, which means, as I said before, that I get it from both sides of my family, and that we should start Botox treatments right away. And we did. And I saw immense improvements.
Back to the middle, straight back.
With the Botox and physical therapy, Sam replaced the crutches he used for months for a brace up to his knee.
That basically keeps my foot in a correct position, because without it, my foot wants to distort itself in that way again. And in no time, I was a normal kid again.
And it straightened out his foot. And so I think just that in and of itself probably gained a lot of trust from my family.
But the brace and the Botox were temporary fixes. Dystonia is a progressive disease, and Dr. Acosta had another treatment in mind.
I brought it up as just this is something that we have available. This may have the greatest potential of giving you a benefit above any medications or anything else I can do, but I do recognize it's brain surgery.
It's my baby, and it's brain surgery.
But operating on Sam's brain requires his staying awake during surgery, and the treatment is still new. Are Sam and his parents willing to take the chance? Sam's story, One Child's Miracle, continues after this. You're watching Sam's story, One Child's Miracle. Once again, here's Deborah Ferguson.
The neuroscience team at Cook Children's Medical Center thought Sam was the perfect candidate for a new treatment, but it involved the riskiest of surgeries.
Dr. Acosta, the great Dr. Acosta, told my parents of a brand spanking new technology called DBS.
The part of the brain that we implant for dystonia, we think that part of the brain is largely responsible for driving muscle tone from the brain.
Pediatric neurologist Fernando Acosta Jr. wanted to operate on Sam's brain to modify the signal causing his left foot to distort.
This is the actual wire that will go into the brain, okay?
This part here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so at the tip here you can see that there are little tiny metallic electrodes.
The electrodes and wire make up the lead. It runs inside the head, behind the ear, down the neck, and attaches to a battery-operated generator implanted in the chest. Acosta wanted one on each side. He suspected Sam's dystonia had progressed.
If it affects his other foot in the same way, then he's in a wheelchair. And here's a child that is bright, intelligent, articulate, active, loves to get out there, and now he's in a wheelchair because his muscles are twisted.
The surgery happens deep in the brain, and the target is about the size of an almond.
What we're learning across the country in adults and even and in the kids that have been implanted is that it seems that his type of dystonia is quite responsive to the deep brain stimulation.
To me, it was no-brainer.
Mom was a hard sell.
The first time I heard about it, apparently my eyes glazed over and I shut down.
He rolled his chair over and got like within inches, eye level and inches of Sam, and said, "You know, I would never do anything that would hurt you."
And he's so intelligent that I was talking with Sam and it just became a conversation with him.
Okay.
That moment won Debbie over.
I know Dr. Acosta's going to take care of him. I mean, he's our angel.
And just 3 days ago, I signed off on it. I checked the little box and I said, give it to me.
Pretty soon here so you can get a shower.
May 28, 2008, 5:30 in the morning, the day of Sam's brain surgery, a day that demanded courage, strength, and faith, especially from Sam.
You will be in the waiting room with my parents. You will be with me on the way into the operating room.
Love you.
Man, I didn't know it was going to be that long.
Or I would have picked more movies. Remember, we are there with you.
I know.
Okay? I love you.
There was no easy moments of the day, but one of the hardest moments was having to say goodbye to Sam.
Okay, can I have one more kiss? Okay. I love you.
Sam.
It had been 16 months since the problem started in Sam's left foot. Medications, support braces, physical therapy helped, but none stopped the dystonia. The source of the movement disorder was in Sam's brain, and that's where his doctor wanted to operate. Sam described it in his video diary.
When they're parting my skull, I'll be awake. When they're probing to find the correct spots, I'll be awake. When they insert the wires, awake. Because if what I've heard is correct, this is going to turn my life around. This is going to make it all worthwhile.
Sam is lightly sedated as the procedure starts and can't feel as a head frame is screwed into place.
Okay, keep his heads real still.
Cook Children's neuroscience team is the first in the country to create a deep brain stimulation program just for children. Pediatric neurosurgeon John Honeycutt will open Sam's brain and implant the stimulation devices. Sam was the 12th case, yet even with experience and courage, the team took nothing for granted.
You worry all day long and you're concentrating all day long trying to figure out what to do next, make sure you not miss a step.
That first step, the halo, is crucial to guiding Honeycutt later.
The margin of error is nil, so that we're trying to get millimeter accuracy. The head frame went on well, he's tolerated it well. Anesthesia did a perfect job of getting him just right, and so now we just get the scan.
That scan, an MRI, provides a map into Sam's brain showing the target and the path needed to get there.
It's something that we actually can physically see on the scans, so that will make our targeting a little bit easier when we go to our next phase with the computer phase.
An hour later, Sam's family gets the first sign of good news.
Sam's doing great.
Good.
We're done with the scan.
Okay.
Everything went well with the scan. And so now we're back in the room. He's just kind of relaxing.
Yes.
All good.
Relief. Yes.
He's in good spirits, so.
He is in good spirits.
Feeling okay, buddy? Yeah. Are you still pretty sleepy?
The light sedation Sam got earlier is wearing off. He will be awake for the rest of the surgery.
Look at that.
That looks nice.
Looky there.
That looks nice.
Look at this, Fernando. So that's it.
That's it right there.
That's it right there.
And that's external.
Yep.
What's right there is the image of that almond-shaped part deep in Sam's brain that controls muscle tone. The doctors take their time studying the images and refining the target.
This is where the intensity and the thought and the chance to get it right starts.
Left side, 116.8.
Next left.
Relax, Sam.
You're doing great.
I got
Lay
you.
down.
Are you cold?
Yeah, we'll get
We can get you
another
extra
warm blanket,
blankets.
okay?
This is the worst part, okay? You're doing great, Sam. You're doing really good,
Almost
buddy.
over.
Take some big breaths through your nose, okay?
And in the waiting room, it's as if Debbie senses the surgery is about to intensify.
Let's help her get over.
Okay.
He's in the best place.
Yes.
Okay, we're ready to make an incision now. All right, ready for burr hole.
Almost done.
And in that hole, Dr. Honeycutt will insert a wire that will carry electrical impulses to Sam's brain from generators in his chest. Hopefully, that deep brain stimulation will return his foot to normal. But first, another step to confirm the targeting is perfect.
We'll implant this in. Then it's got this very fine little needle right there. And that'll allow us to record
sounds from inside Sam's brain.
It's another piece of the puzzle that makes us feel okay. We feel better that we're getting in the right spot.
Hi, Tammy. Okay.
At noon, 3 hours into surgery, Sam's family gets another update.
He's very calm, relaxed. He's doing great. He's talking to him.
15 minutes after Debbie gets that call, the deep brain stimulator is in place, and Dr. Acosta looks to Sam to see if it worked.
Sam, what about you? Moving that foot, is it any easier or is it the same? It's easier? Are you just saying that to make me happy? All right. Well, you made me happy by saying that. Huh? It usually takes a while, but now it's pretty easy? I don't think you need anything else. That's the best clinical exam I can get because it's coming straight from him. Good job, Sam.
And with that, it was time to ease the anxiety felt by Sam's family.
Sam, move your foot for me. He wiggled it all around.
See, he's not been able to do that.
It couldn't have gone better. I mean, it really couldn't have. So, and Sam's he's just the best.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm so relieved that this part's over. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Moore.
Then finally, after 8 long hours, Kent and Debbie and Sam are reunited.
Hey, baby.
Hi.
Hi. It's okay.
Still
Granddad
tired?
and Carolyn are here. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Oh, there it is. It's Friday, May 30th. You are going home today.
As Sam leaves the hospital, there's optimism and uncertainty. Are real changes ahead? Was it worth the risk? Sam's story, One Child's Miracle, returns after this.
Sam spent more than 6 hours in deep brain stimulation surgery. It took courage from him and his parents, and they did so even after their doctor told them there's no guarantee this will work.
How are you doing? I know you were.
Good.
2 weeks after surgery, the emotional changes in Sam were obvious.
He's just happy.
Yeah.
He's a lot happier.
Let's just do a little bit more.
3 months later, the physical change is dramatic.
It was almost at a 90-degree angle. Today it's almost flat. People, will see him, our friends and people from church, and they're like, the old Sam's coming back.
And for Sam, normal is back on his bike, free from pain.
I was freaking out because I thought I wouldn't be able to keep my balance, and I sort of got on and went. Awesome. It's the greatest feeling. No pain, get up in the morning, not have to swallow like 10 pills. It just feels great.
You can see in Sam's gait that he's gonna, he needs to relearn a few aspects about his gait, but as far as the response to the stimulators, it couldn't be better. He just says it feels better and he can move it better, and so this is beyond what I would have expected at this point, and I'm really happy with it. And he came in and he wanted to play football. I don't know that I can ever get him good enough to play football.
But with Sam, the impossible is possible.
Pretty awesome. It was good.
Sam has come far, but what does the future hold? Will a grandmother's dying wish be fulfilled? The conclusion of Sam's story, One Child's Miracle, when we return.
The FDA-approved deep brain stimulation is used primarily to treat Parkinson's disease in adults. The Cook Children's neuroscience team is challenging that thinking by offering it to children. And Sam Gladen may be their best proof.
Best decision I ever made. If I hadn't made that decision, could still be on crutches, could be in a wheelchair right now.
He's had just such an incredible response that it's like a victim of your own success.
Cook Children's Medical Center is the first in the country with a deep brain stimulation program just for children. Pediatric neurologist Warren Marks created it. He and colleague Fernando Acosta Jr. and pediatric neurosurgeon John Honeycutt, the gutsy stars of the hospital's neuroscience team.
It's really weird because they're almost like brothers because they all have different personalities and different ways of doing things that alone would fail, but you get them together and you got me.
Sam's case was textbook, convincing evidence that early intervention, even if it's brain surgery, is better. Yet there's still a lot to learn.
Nobody really has any data out there as to what happens to patients that get implants 20, 30 years down the road. So that's the long-term kind of test case.
All of our research was all on adults with Parkinson's, and there's no information on children having the surgery. Oh, there it is. That's part of the reason that we agreed to talk to you, so there is information out there, so that other people don't have to go through what we've gone through. You know, he might walk with a slight limp. It's always going to be his badge, but he's going to be okay.
Sam will still need physical therapy and follow-up with Dr. Acosta.
Sam, are they working with you?
Together, the journey will continue.
Just thank you. Over and over and over. Just thank you.
I just want to thank the Gladen family, the hospital, and my family for the chance to do this.
Get it! Sam! I can run. Couldn't run last week. I ran today. Holy crud, what am I doing? In constant shock every day. Honestly. Every day I find something new I can do.
You and Ben line up on either sides and kind of go and do a cross.
All right.
And for Debbie, it's fulfillment of the promise she made to her dying mom to fix Sam.
You know, after my mom, I kind of lost hope. At some point, I woke up and went, you know, we're walking through a valley right now. When we get out of this valley, it's going to be glorious. This is my glorious moment. To see him running and playing and being one of the guys. This is what fairy tales are made of, you know. These are miracles. We got our miracle.
The Cook Children's neuroscience team has now performed 18 deep brain stimulation surgeries. As for Sam, he's 13, an 8th grader at Lake Dallas Middle School, and ready for whatever the future holds. Thanks for joining us. I'm Deborah Ferguson. Good night.